Hi, Bothered Brigade. Here's what's bothering me today. There's been a lot of news today, most of it kind of inconsequential, but there's something that's kind of slipped under the radar that I really want to talk about because it absolutely sent me flying off the handle when I first read about it. And that's the following. Could dimming the sun help turn down global heating? It might sound like science fiction, but some are exploring solar geoengineering tech to stop temperatures rising. They say it's relatively cheap and simple, while others warn it could be catastrophic. Why? And it's a whole thread about, oh hey, maybe this is a good thing, and it's like, no! Whether you've seen movies about this stuff, that doesn't even matter. The problem is not that the sun has gotten too hot, right? The problem isn't that the sun is now like, oh geez, the sun just decided to crank up its output and now we're all dealing with way more ultraviolet radiation. That would be a problem where we would have to legitimately address it. The problem is not that the sun is too hot. It's that we're cooking the planet in the name of fucking profit. And instead of maybe doing the only actually rational response, which is to reduce all our lovely, just like consuming everything. We have to stop doing that. We have to reduce our consumption. We have to get rid of capitalism. These are the only actual, rational, sane, sensible answers at this point. Not, hey, let's spend billions of dollars a year cloud seeding so that we can darken the sky a bit the way that volcanoes do. Never mind that potentially if we stop doing that, that could see a sudden kickoff in temperatures, skyrocketing temperatures on the planet Earth. It's like, no, what are we actually doing? What the fuck? And then, almost as if it was like a cosmic sign from God or something, I saw the following just later on my break. Breaking, British gas owner Centrica profits increase 5-fold as energy bills soar. And right on cue, councils plan food bank-style warm banks to help residents survive the winter. People will be forced to spend their days in public buildings to cope with cold temperatures, warns Martin Lewis. And that was a story from Britain. And so we got these two extremes, right? It's like, oh, dealing with, crazy amounts of heat. We should maybe just, start solar geoengineering, apparently, rather than something that is theoretically easier to do, which is just kind of reduce our consumption and end capitalism. And then over in Britain, it's, oh, well, I know these companies are having literally record profits. But hey, we have to maybe, make warm banks for people so that they go and warm themselves up during the day. In fact, they may be forced to do so. Because, I don't know, maybe like the government could, provide services to the people who they take tax dollars from. I thought that was supposed to be the agreement in what we call society. I give you a chunk of my paycheck. In return, I get stuff like this, the utilities, AC, heating, shelter, I get the things. I get access to internet and electricity. These are the things I get by paying taxes. And instead it's just, well, hey, they're making record profits, but what, you can't expect us to tax them on it? Come on now. Like, am I the only one legit losing my mind here? We are literally at the point where companies are thinking of, how do we make this capitalist dystopia even more nightmarishly dystopian? Let's have, instead of, actually having proper infrastructure, we're going to have a whole bunch of people have to be forced into warm banks because they can't afford heating their homes in winter, which will still be a thing in parts of the world. And then it's also, hey, and at the same time, maybe we should, engineer the fucking sun. And it's like there's so many ways in which these don't work and don't go wrong, and it all skirts around the core problem, which is record profits, corporate greed, the very nature of capitalism. That's what needs to go away, and then we can actually have a better world rather than descending into whatever kind of crazy, utterly insane nonsense that is this. The response to the myriad of crises that humanity faces is not more profit and more dystopia. It is actually getting together and working together to put this behind us, whether it's capitalism, inequality. The solution is not more dystopia, and yet apparently, according to news organizations, that is the actual answer. And that is what's bothering me today.